and can dramatically decrease the time taken to pay off your home loan and the total amount of interest you pay. So, now I'm guessing you're starting to get the picture. So let's look at an example with owning just one investment property. Income and 1 and 2 are both $60,000. Rental income of $620. I've gone light on the depreciation here and put it in at just $10,000. The weekly living expense, $500. Investment loan amount of $482,000. Home loan of $300,000 and the interest rate of 5%. You can now potentially pay a home loan off in just 4.1 years, saving 20.9 years off a standard 25-year loan. But I want to make it clear that this is an example and everyone's situation will vary. For example, if you went on a holiday or bought a new car and used the funds from your offset account, this would obviously affect the timeframes. But I just want to highlight the process and the outcomes so you can see how the mechanics work. And the outcomes with adding just 2 properties, not much changes other than the amount of investment debt, rental income and depreciation. But as you can see, once again, the time saving has increased significantly. Look guys, it's not sexy and nor is it rocket science. It's a simple concept, but it certainly allows you to pay off your home loan quicker, own more investment properties, create your wealth and achieve financial freedom for the future. And always remember, property investment is not about working for your properties, but having your properties work for you. So we've covered some serious ground in our session so far about property bubbles, the property clock and understanding cycles, and the old myth that buy and hold is not actually that slow. We looked at how we swap our income tax for passive cash flow property and how to significantly lower your tax legally. Why your finance structure is key, and more importantly, how to use combinations to eliminate your home loan in 5 to 7 or 9 years, depending on your situation. So where to from here? Well, quite frankly, you need a plan. Remember the shopping list analogy? So, after what we've covered in this session, just going out aimlessly into the property market, or what we call hit and hope, would be like having a new home theatre system delivered to your door and finding it had no instruction manual showing you how to put it together properly. You know what it should look like and what it should do when it's set up, but right now it's just a whole bunch of components and cables in a box. So, in other words, it's pointless knowing all this information if we don't have a plan, a manual of sorts, an actionable roadmap for you from where you are today right through to your retirement and beyond. So, firstly, we need to be really honest and work out exactly where we are today. And it's not that hard to work out when you ask some key questions in the correct order and the right way. So once we have our flag in the sand or starting point, we need to highlight where you are, and now also armed with some key information, we can then pinpoint where the goalposts are. Now, guys, if we don't know where the end game or the goalposts are, then what hope do we really have of ever kicking the goal? It'd be like going on a road trip, without a roadmap. You'd end up in Timbuktu or who knows where, and not overly happy with the outcome at the end of the day. So, once we understand exactly where you are today, but more so where you want to be, we'll get to work and create your very own customized roadmap, and then simply just start joining the dots. It's what we call our positive property investment plan, which highlights every step along the way. And just as a little side note worth mentioning, which I'll bet you'll think this sounds very odd coming from someone, whose life is tied up in property, I'm not that fussed on property per se. Look, I don't care what the bricks or the front fence looks like. Is the roof color bond or tile? I couldn't care less. Guys, the point I'm making is that I don't get attached to any given piece of real estate. Property is just the wealth creation vehicle of choice we use to get financially from point A to B, from where we are now to where we want to be. And as we discussed in the earlier slides, property is one of the safest, robust and time-proven vehicles to deliver the results we're after. Sure, it has to be well selected and the right type of property, and in a 7 o'clock market, and I'll get to property selection in a few minutes. Anyway, back on point. After assessing your current situation and goals, we'll get to work and put together your custom property plan, which will cover precisely what property investment involves, with complete transparency. We chart and graph everything we've discussed from our initial call or meeting in detail. It'll start by showing you exactly what the future looks like based on your current situation. If you did nothing at all tracking on your current path, which can be a real eye-opener for some people. So, your plan will outline specific scenarios outlining all the relevant numbers, including personal income, savings and assets, superannuation, plus all the property costs, where we get the deposits from, not to mention the potential outcome at your desired retirement age. And, of course, the shortfall so that you can start to see the progress and get a feeling of what things will look like along the way by following a detailed plan. Now here is the real kicker. Our proprietary property plan forecasts when you can afford to make your next investment building a solid property portfolio that grows much faster than most. And to our knowledge, no one in the property industry can do this. We can. Look, whilst we don't have a crystal ball, we can use past reliable data from the past 100 or more years as a guide to create a hypothetical scenario or plan to track against. It's all mapped out so you'll know exactly how many properties you'll need to retire comfortably, when you'll be buying them, and what the potential outcome is at your desired retirement age. But the best and often surprising part for most of our members is it's not as many properties as you think, and you can do it all without costing you a cent. And one of the main things people are wondering is how to transfer your assets into passive cash flow at retirement, or what we call putting the puzzle together. Guys, fact is, you need a game plan if you are going to win with the property investing. It's just like chess. Strategy and timing are key to winning the game. And that's exactly what the property investment plan is, your detailed strategy. Frankly, we've never seen anyone in the industry offer a more comprehensive and detailed plan for building wealth through property investment. The algorithms, data, assumptions, and the specific formula we use have led us to our own personal multi-million-dollar portfolios, and now many of our clients are on the same path. You see, we've done all the hard work for you, and we know what works and what produces results. Now we're able to hand that to you on a silver platter. All you'll need to do is implement, and yes, we can help you with that part too. But I really wouldn't attempt to move forward with your investing without a well-structured property investment plan. So now you can skip the wasted time and energy of going it alone or on a gut feel and use our highly effective, customized formula that's worked. As I mentioned at the start of the webinar, you won't be pitched some overpriced $10,000 mentoring program. Not at all. Our custom positive property investment plans start from just $197, and they're everything you need as far as the strategy side is concerned. But having just the plan alone is like having a gun with no bullets. You need to put some property into your plan to make it effective and actually pull the trigger and transact. There's a saying from Morris Chang, without strategy, execution is aimless, and without execution, strategy is useless. And it couldn't be more true. In fact, actually knowing the information you know now and not implementing it is worse than not knowing it at all. So, how does the property side work? Let's dig into that part now. We all have a limited and valuable amount of time in each and every day, and most of us are already super busy working one and sometimes even a second job, or running the family, or whatever it may be for you. But it's what we call being time poor, so we need to look at how to leverage our time. So one of the smartest ways to leverage your time is to utilize or leverage the time and experience of others. In this case, leverage the time and experience of a team of property professionals to be able to help implement your strategy without having to do all the hard yards yourself. So we've meticulously designed, piece by piece, what we call our Portfolio Builder coaching program, and here's how it works. What we did was assemble our team of professionals in a specific way so that we could offer their services to a few of our close friends and clients, and now that offer is open to you. These are the guys we personally use for our own deals, the team who understand exactly how we operate and have the experience to meet the expectations we require, which we call our advisory network. So it all starts with positive property investments and our extensive market research. As we discussed before, we're massive on research. We do a lot of the legwork for you as far as the research that's needed to find markets that are primed ready for growth, the 7 o'clock markets. So what's the process? Well, we need to talk with one of our experienced property team, and yes, they're all avid investors themselves and well-versed in all the strategies I've covered so far. And they'll start the ball rolling with what we call our financial health check. It's a nice and friendly get-to-know-you type of conversation so we can understand your story so far and uncover your future goals and ambitions, and simple financial fact-finding session. So we've got a quick snapshot of your current position. From here, we book your strategy session with one of our finance specialists who will contact you directly to discuss our findings and dig a little deeper into your specific situation. And then they'll come back with what we call our borrowing capacity, which is basically how much you can afford to invest. But guys, we need to have an actual strategy, and we must must ensure the finance structure is thoroughly explained first and, more importantly, implemented correctly. So we don't just deal with Bob the broker down the road. And as you can see here, these guys are not just your average brokers, but more so strategists. As we discussed previously, the finance structure is vital. So they'll run you through the structure of exactly how it's going to work, where the equity or deposit is coming from, how long it will potentially take to pay down your home mortgage,